Hello everyone, Space Jelly here. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Series 1 Iron Man. I'm doing the reviews on these old Toy Biz figures because I'm working with what I got, because it turns out everything is expensive nowadays and it's hard to get newer figures since they're all online mostly. So we're going to start off with the height measurements. He's standing straight up, so he is 6.25 inches tall, roughly, which will make him pretty much exactly 16 centimeters. And I wanted to compare him to my favorite Marvel Legends, Sleep Eater, because Toy Biz released him as a wave that's supposed to pay tribute to the original Toy Biz Marvel Legends series. I mean, I guess it does a good enough job, but he's not really wearing the same outfit at all, and the color palette is completely different. This is more the classic design for Iron Man's helmet. They chose a completely different design for this one. I would have liked this one, but I don't really mind that one too much. But just looking at it now, you can see that Toy Biz has much better paint work and detail work, but Hasbro has a better proportion figure, and also I guess a better finish because he's shiny, but this one's different in other ways. So I guess it's not really a better finish, more like a different one. But yeah, we'll compare them to different figures. This is the um, McFarlane Toys Classic Doomslayer Red. He's pretty tall. This Iron Man is pretty short for today's standards. Typically the figures today are pretty tall. This is the McFarlane Toys Speeding Bullets Superman slash Batman. Still pretty tall. This is the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Azrael Batman. Towers over Iron Man. Ooh. And then I'll compare him to this Toy Biz Marvel Legends, like Captain America. This one's a variant where he has the mask off. I think this is in the Face Off pack with Red Skull. And also for an upcoming review, I think this is him next to the McFarlane Toys Hush Batman. So I guess he would scale well with your other Marvel Legends. He won't really scale well with many other lines. So we're going to talk about the finish now, more like the painting aesthetics. He does have pretty good paint work. That's something that Toy Biz did pretty well. They have a lot of paint on their figures. He has painting on his helmet. There's like a subtle gradient. He has some subtle shading on his arms. I think there might be some in the red parts, but I'm not too sure. In his legs, he has pretty good paint on his mask too, and he also has a thing where he can remove the mask. And I think that the painting looks pretty good on his face too. I don't really find a problem or issue with his likeness. This looks good enough. I think this actually looks a lot better than the re-released Hasbro one that's supposed to be replicating it. Hasbro one kind of looks a little weird compared to this one, but I can see why people don't like it. So, also with aesthetics, obviously the proportioning is not perfect. You can see his arms are very long and his torso is very tiny. But I guess individually you can look at them and they're not too bad. The arms don't look very bad. They're just really long. I'm not sure why they made this decision, but it is a 21-year-old toy. This is Series 1. You can see the legs are shaped a little funny. They're not terrible though. He also doesn't have the ugly ball hinges for his legs. So that's also a plus, usually when they don't have these ugly ball hinges. I'll show this one too. The legs look a bit better, but they went to the ball hinges a little bit later. So yeah, I think that overall he holds up kind of well. If you put him in a pose, he would definitely hold up well, but just standing on his own, he does look a little bit dated. So articulation, he has, I think, a ball peg. I don't think there's a hinge, just a ball peg, but it only seems to move up and down, and also it's very loose on my one. He doesn't really move side to side. It's doing this weird thing. I think it's because you can rotate the neck. I think the neck is also on a ball peg too, if you can see it moving. It's an odd setup. He doesn't really look up too high, and he doesn't really look down, so bummer. He has like these crazy shoulder blade joints that go super far forwards and disconnect from his body. A little bit weird, but this allows you to get him in some pretty cool poses. You can make him cross his arms. They don't really go back at all though. The shoulders have crazy range too. They go all the way up. Fully rotate. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow. The elbows on my one are kind of loose, but you know, it's usually what happens with Toy Biz figures. Gauntlet swivel. His wrists rotate in and out. Sorry about that, my camera stopped working. He has painted repulsors too. I don't know if I mentioned this, but he also has these little buttons here, and I think that they're painted. Yeah, I think they're painted. And he also has the finger articulation. It doesn't really make much sense because his hands are open, but you know, it's what Toy Biz did. Just what they were known for most of the time. Diaphragm joint is kind of bad. It rotates, but I don't know what's wrong with them and giving their characters bad torso joints. But they were still figuring things out. Rotates, kind of wobbles a little bit. I think these things are supposed to rotate, but I don't know, they're not rotating for me. He kicks forwards, doesn't really kick back. I don't want to go out more than that because it'll just take this little disc off. But he can obviously go more. Thigh swivel, I don't know if you can see it, but they're actually shaped differently. Both legs are. There's like a spot over there that's sculpted, and this one's kind of like sinking in. I don't know. Thigh swivel, double jointed knee. These knees are not loose, but they feel like they're going to get loose soon. Boot swivel, all the way around. Ankle goes all the way up, all the way down. Kind of a decent ankle rocker. And he has a toe joint. So, yeah, he has all the joints you would really like need, like as a necessity to pose an action figure. But he doesn't really have a good diaphragm, so he'll be hard to get into flight stands or flight poses. And the gorilla arms are kind of hard to look at now, especially since action figures have been getting more proportionate. But I don't think his proportioning is terrible. When you get him into a pose, he should be able to look good. Like if you use something like this, where you're not looking at him straight on and you're using perspective, he should look fine. So yeah, I do like these old Toy Biz toys though. They're nostalgic, and they definitely had more love and care put into them at the time than the modern Hasbro ones. I forgot to mention, he came with this stand. The new Toy Biz one, or Hasbro one, came with a recreation of this, but it's a piece of cardboard and a stand that just says Marvel Legends. So that's really stupid. This is like a soft plastic. It's painted pretty well too. Anyways, yeah, if you like these old figures, definitely pick this one up. This is probably the best Iron Man that they released, that Toy Biz released. And I think it's the only like really classic Iron Man they released. The other ones are different, and I think he came in 2 variants. I'm not sure what the other one is, but the other one is a blue one, the stealth armor, I think. I forgot what the other one is, but it depends on what you like. The painting and the sculpted detail is all there, and that's what you would be picking up the Toy Biz Marvel Legends for. So I'm really not gonna take down any points for them having bad proportions and stuff. It was a product of the time, and you have to look at 21-year-old figures like they're 21-year-old figures. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, everything, and all feedback is welcome, negative or positive. So yeah, see you the next time. Bye.